Hi there, sixth graders. Ah, good afternoon. As you can see, I'm not here by myself right now, but I wanted to check in and see how things went today. So I'm posting this on the stream as soon as technology allows me to do that once I finish the video clip. But right here I have our family dog, Cocoa Puff. And you can see she's probably itching to get off because she's not comfortable. But anyway, I will let her go probably as soon as I release her. She will be gone, and then we can talk a little shop. All right, Coco, scamper away. I'll replace Coco with my technology. And I'm just checking in. I want to see how things went today. I'm actually sitting so that I can see outside just to my left. I see how nice it is outside today. Looks like the clouds have cleared from this morning. That cool air is still out there though. So we do have a cold air mass resting above Stanford here today. Came in yesterday, I think, after the storm. Replaced that warm air. It was a little bit warmer from the day before, I think. I'm losing track of my days. But anyway, yeah, so I just thought I would take a quick run through today's classwork. I have been looking over your work as it comes in. Haven't looked over everyone's yet. That takes a little while. But I've been looking over, sprinkling, a smattering, whatever you want to call it, and trying to give you guys feedback where I can. It's really important, as I've mentioned on the Google Classroom stream in the past, to send me your questions, comments, concerns, whatever it is that you might not be sure about. You might want to just bounce an idea or two off me as it relates to the science content that you guys are trying to get your hands around, trying to understand each day. I know this is tough. It's a new situation for us all. We don't have that dialogue, that conversation that we could have sitting at our tables, or for those of you who like to ask questions in the classroom, and we know that's not every one of us, and that's okay. But to ask me questions in the classroom, so it's a little bit different. But you know what? We got to try to figure this out together, and we will. And I will be posting more videos, as you can see. So I have a hat on because, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but since I don't have much of a carpet in the penthouse suite, I like to keep it closely cropped, as you guys know. And I have not been to the barber. All the barbers are closed. So my hair, what's left of it up there is, I just figured you don't need to be tortured by that look. So anyway, here we are. So today you guys had a chance to begin activity 14. It's really about the atmosphere. The atmosphere is really cool. There's a lot more to it than what you see when you look outside. Matter of fact, I don't even know if when I look outside, if I hadn't learned it, that I would realize that the air that surrounds us here on the surface of Earth is actually part of Earth's atmosphere. This is where it starts. In the troposphere, like you learned today. And by the way, we had a step where I asked you in today's classwork to make a copy of our data table here, Earth's atmospheric layers, which, thank you. Those of you guys who have been showing me your classwork, putting your notes. I do have a request I would really prefer to see you for something like that, that I'm not grading, where I'm looking at your work. I'd like you to do it the way you would have done it in class, as opposed to showing me a copy of the picture in the book and or saying I'm going to print it out and put it in my notes. That's great, but, and you've probably heard this before, one of the ways that the brain works and we learn is by writing things down. So it's a lot better than taking a picture. No offense to those of you guys who did that, but I would much rather you make a handwritten copy of the notes of things like the data table. So I'll let that go, and we'll see where we go from there. Anyway, you set up activity 14, hopefully, and then I asked you a little warm-up, which was for you to recall the factors that we learned in activity 10, the causes of climate, in your notes. You also had the opportunity back in activity 10 to watch a short video clip that I believe was called Climate Factor Rap, and that was pretty cool. I mean, I enjoyed it. I learned something about factors that affect Earth's climates there. There were some things in there that weren't in the textbook. So that's one of the cool things about this whole distance learning model that we're grinding through together, is that I'm discovering resources that I'm trying to share with you, like that Climate Factor Rap video and some others that we may not have had a chance to check out in the classroom. So I think it's going to hopefully offer you, my estudiantes, the opportunity to deepen your understanding of whatever science it is that we're investigating. So anyway, after that little warm-up, I have my laptop here, so I'm going to be looking to my left here, and you were asked to read the introduction. It's a short introduction where it introduces the layer of Earth's atmosphere, the troposphere that we live in, where all of Earth's weather occurs. I hope you answered those 3 questions in step 5 in the distance learning doc today. I'm going to trip over my tongue every once in a while just because this isn't as interactive as it would be if we were all together in a classroom, where I would be throwing a lot more questions back at you. But I do have one question for you, if you remember. When you're done watching this video, if you do catch it, because it's a bit late in the day, probably won't get posted until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you do catch it, I would like your feedback, and you can post your feedback directly as a comment to this stream post. So right on the stream, just for your feedback for this, not for everything in general. Let's stick to the private messages for your classwork and questions and things like that. And but I would like to start sharing some stuff on the stream. We got to be, I have to think about how to manage that so I can get more of your input out there. We can get a little dialogue going at certain times like this. So feel free, I strongly encourage you to comment on this video post. I'm curious what you guys think. And if you like these videos or not, you're not required to watch them. They're going to be more of an optional thing, more of a support tool. But anyway, let me get back to today's classwork. So we read the introduction, we recorded the guiding question in our notes, and then in step 7, you hopefully watched a 5-minute video clip, which was pretty cool. Like I said yesterday, didn't have a lot of, or this morning, not heavy in content, just getting you to think a little bit about this air that surrounds our beautiful planet, our atmosphere, and so from there, after the clip, I asked you in your book to turn to page 76, which I had the book open the last time I held it up for you to see, to pages 76 and 77, and to read this short passage on page 76, just above the data table, and consider that information. In there, among other things, they introduce the main gases that make up Earth's atmosphere. So in most years past, my 6th graders, when I asked them that question, before we officially learn what the gases are, most 6th graders, or many 6th graders, will say they think oxygen is the gas that makes up the most of our atmosphere. And as you learned today in that passage and in the second video clip, it is actually, I hope you said nitrogen. If you did, you're right. It's nitrogen. Makes up 78% of the air that surrounds Earth. Well, at least the air that's right next to Earth in Earth's troposphere. And oxygen, you know, it's there. It's second place, 21%-ish, I think. So anyway, hopefully some of you learned something new there. Getting back to the classwork steps. After having read that passage, I asked you to make a copy of that data table in your notes. And again, I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time rehashing that right now. By the way, if you're wondering, I am not a Michigan fan. I am suited up right now in Michigan attire, but I think you know why. I think I mentioned it in class. It's because our daughter attends that university, the University of Michigan. And while she's there, I support their school, including their athletics programs. So that's why I'm wearing what I'm wearing. I'm actually, ironically, a rabid, huge Ohio State fan. And you might say, well, okay, that's just a different school. But actually, Michigan and Ohio State are arch rivals. They have one of the biggest college sports rivalries in all of college sports. So for me to be a fan of the arch rival school, it's kind of funny. Anyway, who knows? Moving right along. Wake up! I see a couple of you dozing off. Stay focused. And remember, by the way, I went to school today. I'm going off on another tangent, but you may, if you're getting bored with this review of today's classwork, you may like this one too. So I went to school, I shot a short video clip. I sent it to Miss Bat, Mrs. Wilson, and Mr. Argenio of my classroom. Had to grab some things there, which you may see in a video down the road. I don't know yet for sure. But anyway, I took a short video clip while I was there of my room. And I will be back probably there to pop another short one and maybe put it on our stream. Just for a little trip down short-term memory lane for everybody. Anyway, back to the last step or two of today's classwork. So, distance learning document, step number 10. another video clip. And in this one, actually, we get some content. The meat between the hamburger bun sections. I don't know why I said that. Maybe because I had McDonald's for lunch and I had a cheeseburger with extra pickles. Anyway, if any of you were doubting me, there it is. It's a lot of talking, so let me hydrate. Wow. That was good. All right. This last video clip was great. I searched wide and far on the internet and to find meaningful clips that I think, you know, really target what we're learning and the way we're learning the science about weather and climate in this unit. Since we've all been at home, there's a lot of clips out there, but they don't, you know, all connect as well as this one does. Anyway, I hope you got something out of that clip. I hope it reinforced the information that was in the data table that hopefully you have your own copy of now. And that was today's classwork. So if you have not sent it to me, please bring it my way so that I can take a look at your work whenever. So that's it for that. I need to see the classwork. I'll sprinkle a couple of other quickies in here. Just general stuff, doesn't relate exactly to what you guys did for classwork today, but just in general, a couple of reminders. During our regular distance learning days, Monday through Thursday, it looks like now, for your 4 core classes, between, I believe, I want to say between 1 and 2 o'clock is a time for students to send questions to their teachers. So I just want to remind you of that. With me, I don't care. You can send it to me whenever you want. I'm not going to be responding 24/7, but I'll be continuing to respond in a pretty flexible way, I would say, just like what you've noticed I've been doing for these first handful of weeks. But that's the official time for students to send questions to their teachers. And by the way, if there's any parents that are watching this, or if you want to pass this along to your parentals, as my daughter would sometimes call my wife and I, there is an official hour for parent questions too. It's from 2 to 3, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure it's from 2 to 3. So anyway, parents, send them to me whenever you like, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I believe that's it. We've got one more day of science this week. Tomorrow we'll pick up right back into activity 14. And we're going to get into the greenhouse effect a little bit, which I'm curious to see what you know. Also tomorrow you guys are going to have homework. I believe it'll be a brain pop experience on the greenhouse effect. So, and it'll be graded just like the other homeworks. One thing I do want to mention about these brain pop videos and then the quizzes is I know I listed this in the instructions when I assign you guys brain pop tasks, but you can watch the video more than one time, and you can take the review after the video before you take the quiz. I've done all 3. I've watched videos more than once. It's just like anything else, reading or writing or any kind of learning. You know, for most of us, it helps to go over things more than one time. So anyway, I recommend you guys do that. It's also could help your grade. And since it's a homework grade and it's scored out of 10, you know, I'll take the highest grade that you send me. And by the way, if you're going to take it more than once, because maybe you didn't get the score that you were hoping to get the first time you took the quiz, then you don't need to send me the first score. I just need to see the final score. Okay. That's it for now, guys, and I'll check in with you in the morning. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Get outside if you can, even if it's just opening the door and taking a couple of deep breaths. It is beautiful out there right now. I don't know what the forecast is like for tomorrow, but there's some primo weather going on out there right now. So if you can get out, have some fun, recharge for tomorrow. That's it, guys. All right, by the way, don't forget, comment on this video right on the stream, right on this post. I want to see your comments. All right, guys.